There is a library that exists in the space between a heartbeat and a sigh, in the curious silence that remains when the kettle has just clicked off. It is the world's great silent sanctuary for the heart grown weary of its own constant chatter. You do not find it by appointment or by following a compass. You find it by the simple, profound act of ceasing to seek. You arrive here only when you have walked away from the frantic daily noise, when the mental clutter of your days has become too heavy, and the stories you've been telling yourself have grown frayed and thin. Your journey here was not through grand avenues or over misty moors. It was through an interior landscape of increasing quiet. The harsh colors of the waking world softened. The sharp edges blurred. Thoughts that once marched through your mind in a tight formation began to drift apart, loosening their grip. Until at last you found yourself standing before a structure that was less built than grown. A colossal breathing entity of stone and story. The library. Its spires are like the stems of ancient stone foxgloves, reaching calmly into a sky, the color of deep twilight. Its countless windows, panes of curious stained glass, are the petals, glowing with a soft internal luminescence, each one a captured sunset or a frozen dawn. The great oak door, thickly iron-bound and older than nations, stands open just a crack. It is an invitation, written in silence, and the faint smell of adventure. You curl your fingers around the iron handle and give the door a gentle push. It yields without a sound, swinging inward to admit you into the cool, still air of the entrance hall. The first breath you take inside is a benediction. It is the scent of 1 billion sleeping stories. The dry, papery fragrance of forgotten diaries. The rich, solemn smell of leather-bound epics. The faint metallic ghost of iron gall ink. And beneath it all, the cool, clean aroma of stone that has known only peace for 10,000 years. The frantic drumming of your own heartbeat, which moments ago felt like a race, is already slowing. It is being absorbed into the vast resonant quiet. The entrance hall is a cathedral of silence. Bookshelves rise like enormous, ancient elms, their tops vanishing into a ceiling of misty shadow. A great circular mosaic on the floor depicts a slumbering worm, its tail in its mouth, an Ouroboros of endless, peaceful recursion. Floating through the air are the library's lamplighters. They are not simple orbs, but smooth glass beetles, each containing a soft golden flame. They drift as if underwater, their wings barely moving, their light casting shifting, tranquil pools upon the endless volumes. This is the Hall of Quiet, and its singular purpose is to absorb the final prickly echoes of the mundane world. You stand in the center of the mosaic and simply listen. The only sound is the vast, deep, rhythmic hum of the library itself. It is not an audible sound, but a feeling. A low-frequency vibration that rests like a gentle supporting presence upon your chest, regulating the pace of your own life force. You allow your awareness to sink into this hum, letting it quiet the residual anxiety, letting it ground your spirit. You notice the dust motes in the golden light, moving in the air in a slow, perfect waltz that seems to last for an eternity. The air is cool, but a deep, comforting warmth rises from the ancient stone floor, seeping up into the soles of your feet, drawing out the last vestiges of restless energy. Your shoulders loosen. Your jaw softens. Your breath becomes longer, deeper, slower. From somewhere to your left, faint and distant, another sound begins to emerge, as delicate as breath on glass. You turn your head and notice an archway framed by shelves carved with tiny sleeping faces. Above it, In letters of soft silver light, a name appears as you watch. The Hall of Gentle Echoes. Curiosity does not feel sharp here. It feels soft and natural, like the gentle turning of a familiar page. And so, you move toward the archway. Beyond it, the air grows even stiller. This hall is narrower, more intimate, its shelves closer together. From the high ceiling, thin strands of glass, like wind chimes, hang in long, shimmering curtains. As you walk past, they move without ever touching, each strand responding to your presence with the softest of tones. The notes are so faint, you feel them more than you hear them, gentle vibrations along your skin. In the spaces between the shelves, soft echoes drift, not full words, not complete conversations, just fragments of voices, rounded and blurred, smoothed by time. A gentle laugh you once loved. The slow, comforting cadence of a story told to you as a child. Your own voice saying it'll be all right, on a night when you weren't sure that it would. None of them are sharp enough to wound. They arrive like the memory of warm hands resting on your shoulders, and then they fade. The echoes are the library's way of letting the last intrusive noise of the outside world dissolve. They are smoothing every edge, softening every sound. You stand perfectly still, and one of the echoes drifts toward you like a small glowing moth. It hovers near your chest and then gently settles. Around your shoulders there is a soft, visible glow, like a shawl woven from pale light. It wraps you in warmth and quiet reassurance. The echo curls around your heart, and the library's hum deepens slightly in response, as if acknowledging, yes, this belongs here now, and no longer needs to circle restlessly inside you. When you step back out into the hall of quiet, the world feels more distant, as if it has taken several slow steps back and agreed to wait. Your breath is slower. Your thoughts move like clouds instead of arrows. A figure emerges from the dimness between two towering shelves, her footsteps making no sound on the stone. She is elderly, her posture erect, her hair a magnificent cascade of white. She is dressed in simple robes of a grey that shifts gently between the colour of mist and the colour of a dove's wing. Her eyes are ancient and gentle, and when they rest on you, you feel seen in a quiet, kind way that requires no explanation. You have come a long way to find your way here, she says. Her voice is the sound of a well-loved page being carefully turned. I am Elara, a keeper of this curious place. The library has been expecting you. It always knows when a soul is carrying more than it can hold. You try to form words, to explain the tangled knot of feelings that led you here. But they feel clumsy and unnecessary in this place of pure essence. The knot is there, but it is already loosening. Elara smiles, and a network of fine, kind lines deepen around her eyes. There is no need for explanation, she says softly. The weight you carry has its own voice, and it has been calling out for a shelf of its own. Come, let us begin the work of unburdening. She turns, and you follow her into the labyrinth. You walk through canyons of books, through the aisle of first loves, where the volumes are slim and bound in pastel colors, humming with a gentle, hopeful energy. You pass the corridor of the lost pets, where small, well-worn books seem to radiate a warmth of unconditional loyalty. You glance into the gallery of small triumphs, where the books glow with a quiet, steady light, proud without shouting. In each section, the air has a different texture, a different emotional temperature. Hope, comfort, pride, gentle nostalgia. The memories here are not dead, Elara says. her voice a soft commentary in the quiet. They are resting. A memory is a moment of life, too vibrant to be held static in the mind. Clutching it too tightly is what causes the pain, the longing. Here, they are released from that duty. They are allowed to simply be. You pass yet another threshold, and the atmosphere changes again. The light here is tinged with a faint rose gold hue. On both sides of the aisle, the shelves hold delicate, slender volumes tied with silver ribbons. The air smells faintly of candle wax and blown-out birthday flames. Above you, a sign glows in muted letters. The Chamber of Forgotten Wishes. These, Ilara murmurs, fingertips gracing one of the ribbons, are the wishes that were once bright as stars and then set aside. Not failures, not mistakes, just paths not taken. Somewhere in your chest, a subtle ache stirs, the memory of something you once longed for with your whole being and gradually talked yourself out of. You feel it rise, surprisingly gentle now, no longer sharp. A single book slips free of the shelf and drifts toward you, hovering at eye level. Its cover is a soft, luminous blue. You touch it lightly, and for a moment you see a younger version of yourself, making plans that never came to pass. Instead of regret, what you feel now is gratitude. Gratitude for the version of you who dared to dream, and for the winding, imperfect path that brought you here, to this quiet, impossible place. The book closes quietly and floats back into place. The ache in your chest loosens. Your next inhale is deeper. Your next exhale empties you more completely. Ilara nods, satisfied, and guides you onward. After a walk that feels both endless and instantaneous, you enter a small circular chamber. The Scriptorium. It is a place of focused quiet. In the center stands a large wooden desk, its surface worn smooth and dark by time and countless hands. Upon it rests a blank book, a pot of deep black ink, and a quill that looks as though it was plucked from a giant thunderbird, its feathers shimmering faintly in the soft light. This is where we give form to feeling, Ilara says, placing her hands lightly on the desk. Think not of the story, but of the burden, the ache, the sharpness. Bring it to the surface and let the library give it a proper name. You close your eyes. You reach inside, past explanations and details, to the raw emotional core of a persistent worry. You feel its shape, its heaviness, its color. When you open your eyes, the blank book is no longer blank. A volume has appeared on the desk. It is bound in a rough grey cloth, like a small storm cloud, and it is slightly warm to the touch. Its title, written in fine silver script across the cover, reads, "The Anxiety of Unfinished Things." Ilara picks it up. It feels surprisingly substantial in her hands, like a thick dictionary. Yet the act of seeing it outside of yourself is its own immediate relief. "Good," she whispers. "It has named itself. Now, we find its designated bed." She leads you to the Wing of Sorrows and letting go. The shelves here are dark wood, and the books are bound in deep blues and charcoal greys. She finds a space and slides the volume home. As it clicks into place with a very satisfying, definite click, you feel a corresponding release within your chest. The constant low-level tension that had become your normal state simply vanishes. Your next breath fills your lungs easily, all the way to the bottom. You take a full, deep breath, perhaps the first in months. One by one, you return to the Scriptorium. Another burden surfaces, a hot, sharp feeling of a past injustice. A new book appears instantly, bound in cracked red leather, the ember of a grudge. Ilara shelves it in the vault of cooling anger, and you feel a heat you once mistook for strength leave your body, dissipating like smoke, rising into high, still air. Another burden rises, a heavy, beautiful sadness for a time that can never be reclaimed. A book bound in mother of pearl appears, titled The Memory of a Brighter Sun. She places it in the conservatory of bittersweet joy. The ache of loss softens into a gentle, fond melancholy, as if someone has wrapped the memory in soft cloth and placed it carefully on a shelf where it can rest. With each memory you shelve, you feel lighter, quieter, more transparent. The frantic static of your mind is being replaced by a clean, clear silence. Thoughts move more slowly, with more space between them, like lanterns floating down a dark river. When the most persistent weights have been laid to rest, Ilara does not lead you onward immediately. Instead, she opens a narrow side door from the Scriptorium, and cool blue light spills through. "This," she says softly, "is a room the library opens only for those who have done the work you are doing now." You step into the room of soft rains. It is small and entirely enclosed, yet the ceiling above you is an open sky, indigo and pearl, neither night nor day. A gentle luminous rain falls from above, but when it reaches you, it is not wet. Each droplet is a tiny bead of light that passes through you like a sigh. You feel them landing on your skin, on your shoulders, on the crown of your head. Each one carries a single, soft message. You did your best. It was enough. You may rest now. The floor is a shallow pool of light that holds your reflection, not as you appear in mirrors, but as you feel when you are most at peace. Softened, unhurried, whole. You stand under the falling radiance, letting the light rain pass through you, washing away the residue even of your self-judgment. By the time the last droplet fades, your sense of self feels quieter, kinder, like a voice lowered to a warm, gentle whisper. Ilara appears beside you, as naturally as if she had always been there. "Now," she says, "the library will speak to you in its own language." She leads you from the Scriptorium to a new section, the quiet listening post. This room is a small, soundproof dome entirely lined with thick burgundy felt. In the center is a single, comfortable recliner. Ilara gestures for you to sit. You sink into the velvet, and the chair molds itself to your exact shape, supporting every curve and hollow, holding you as if it has been waiting just for you. "The library needs to do something for you now," Ilara whispers. "For a time, you will simply receive. This is the collection of all the stories of peace that have ever been shelved here. They are gathered into a single, continuous, gentle sound." She presses a small silver symbol on the wall. Immediately, the room fills with the softest, most layered sound you have ever heard. It is not quite music, and it is not noise. It is the composite sound of pure tranquility, the whisper of 1,000 sleeping children, the low, steady crackle of a forgotten fire on a winter night, the distant, gentle sigh of waves reaching a quiet shore, and the soft, steady rhythm of a single slow, happy heartbeat. You close your eyes and let the sound wash over you. It is a full-body bath in sound, a soft, resonant frequencies that bypasses the thinking mind entirely. You are not trying to understand the sounds. You are simply allowing them to cradle you. For a long, deep stretch of time, you are simply a vessel floating in the gentle ocean of the library's peace. Every muscle in your body, from your toes to your scalp, softens and releases, urged by the constant, unwavering rhythm of the sound. The work of the world is forgotten. The concept of tomorrow is irrelevant. There is only the here, the now, and the profound supporting sound of peace. Eventually, the sound recedes like a tide, leaving behind a shore of pure quiet. Ilara's voice gently cuts through the stillness, now seeming distant and soft. The silence is deeper now, she says. The body is ready to speak its truth. She leads you away from the Scriptorium and the listening post. You descend a wide, graceful staircase that spirals downwards, deep into the bedrock of the world. The air grows cooler, and the scent changes to that of wet clay, stone, and deep roots. We have dealt with the stories of the heart, Ilara says. Now, we go deeper, to the stories of the body. This is the archive of bodily memory. Here, there are no books. Instead, the walls are lined with smooth, river-worn stones of various sizes, each resting in its own niche. They glow with a soft internal light. Each stone a different hue. A new guide is here. A man, solid and quiet as the stones he tends. He introduces himself as Kale. His voice is the rumble of a distant avalanche, felt more than heard. The body remembers what the mind forgets, Kyle says, resting his hand on a stone that glows with a sickly, greenish light. The tension in a shoulder from a year-old stress. The clench of a jaw from a forgotten fear. These are the memories trapped in muscle and sinew. They, too, can be given to the library. He invites you to stand in the center of the circular archive. Bring your awareness into your body, he says kindly. Find a place of held tension. Do not think of its course. Just feel its shape, its weight, its exact location in your tissue. You focus on the perpetual tightness between your shoulder blades. You feel it as a hard, cold knot, small but stubborn. Kale walks to the wall and returns with a smooth, dark stone about the size of his palm. It is cool to the touch. Place your hands upon it, he says. Let the stone drink the memory. You hold the stone, focusing your awareness on the knot of tension. You imagine the cold, hard energy of the knot flowing out of your back, down your arms and into the waiting, absorbent stone. You feel a subtle pulling sensation, a quiet transfer of energy. The stone in your hands grows slightly warmer, and the knot in your back begins to soften, to dissolve, its sharp edges rounding off and melting away. After a few moments, the stone glows with a faint, troubled, orange light. The tension in your shoulders is gone, replaced by a feeling of spacious ease, a spreading warmth of release. Kyle takes the stone and places it in a niche between a deep blue stone and a pale yellow one. It will sleep here, he says. The earth knows how to hold such things. You repeat the process, noticing a tightness in your forehead, a habitual furrow you hadn't even realized was there. You feel the tension gather and flow into another stone, which takes on a dull grey light. As Kale carries it to its niche, your forehead smooths completely. Your eyes close for a moment in simple relief, resting fully. Once more, you locate the tightness in your belly, a feeling of perpetual preparedness, as if you are always braced for something. You feel this tight, anxious coil unwind, moving like a soft current into a small pale green stone. As Kyle carries it to its niche, the tension in your core is gone, replaced by a profound feeling of weight and solidity, a groundedness you can trust. Kyle gestures toward a narrow corridor at the far side of the archive, where small glass lanterns hang in a gentle curve, their light soft and sleepy. Walk there before you ascend again, he suggests. Let the body learn how it feels to move without burden. You step into the lantern walkway. Each lantern along the path holds a different shade of light: warm gold, soft blue, tender violet, gentle green. As you pass beneath them, their light flows down like a veil over your skin, and each one whispers a single sensation into your muscles. Loosen, lengthen, soften, release. Your steps become slower, more fluid. Your arms hang comfortably at your sides. Your shoulders sway with ease. The simple act of walking feels like floating through water, warm to the exact temperature of your comfort. By the time you emerge from the lantern walkway, your body is no longer braced against anything. It trusts the ground beneath it. It trusts the air around it. This unburdening is profoundly physical. You feel as though you are being untied from the inside, your very skeleton settling into a more natural, relaxed alignment. When the work in the archive is complete, Ilara reappears. "There is one more realm before we climb," she says. "The place where your thoughts learn how to land." She leads you up into a high, isolated wing of the library. This is the aviary of fleeting thoughts. It is an open, airy space with a ceiling of clear, dark glass showing a sky filled with slow-moving, unknown constellations. The shelves here are not filled with books, but with thousands of delicate blown glass spheres, each containing a single, shimmering wisp of light that flutters like a tiny, glowing moth. A third guide is here, a slender, ethereal person named Lyra. Their voice is the sound of wind chimes made of ice, soft and bright. "These are the thoughts that never settle," Lyra explains. "The worries about tomorrow, the fragments of songs, the random words, the mental static. They are not important enough to become books, but their constant buzzing is a great weariness." Lyra hands you a small silver net with a handle of polished driftwood. "Simply hold the net," they say, "and be still. They will come." You stand still, holding the net lightly in front of you. Almost immediately, a shimmering wisp, a small, nagging worry about an email you need to send tomorrow, drifts toward you and settles into the net. It flashes once and vanishes, its energy fully released. Another comes, a fragment of a commercial jingle that has circled your mind for days. It is caught and dissolves. A random anxious thought about a future conversation is snared. One by one, the flotsam and jetsam of your mind are gently captured and released. The internal noise floor of your consciousness, which has been a constant low hum for so many years, begins to drop. The silence that replaces it is not empty, but deeply, profoundly rich. The sheer emptiness of your mind feels like a cool drink of water on a hot day. Spacious, clean, kind. When your mind feels clear and still, like a calm mountain lake, Lyra nods. "The sky is clear," they say softly. "The birds are sleeping." Before you leave, Lyra guides you to a small balcony that overlooks a hidden alcove, the archive of true names. Below, you see narrow shelves lined with slim, luminous scrolls. Each one glows faintly, breathing in a slow rhythm. "These," Lyra says, "are the names you have been given over the years. The labels, the roles, the identities. Some fit, some never did. The library keeps them here so you no longer have to wear them all at once." As you watch, a single scroll rises from the shelves and unfurls in midair. You see written upon it a word you have used to describe yourself when you were tired, or disappointed, or afraid. The word hangs there for a heartbeat, and then the scroll gently rolls itself up again and settles back on the shelf. It does not vanish, but it is no longer pressed against your skin. In its place, you feel something quieter, truer, emerging. Not a word this time, but a feeling. The simple sense of being. Not good or bad. Not success or failure. Just here. Present. Real. Ilara then leads you to the great spiral staircase of ascent. This is the final pathway. The staircase is made of gleaming pearlescent white stone, and it spirals up slowly without railing into the mist of the highest dome. You begin to walk. Your steps are light. Your body is unburdened. Your mind is clear and spacious. With each gentle step up the spiral, you feel yourself ascending away from the world of detail and worry, moving toward a place of simple, vast awareness. The library's soft hum rises up around you, an encouraging chord of profound peace. The rhythm of your slow, deliberate steps becomes a gentle mantra. Up and up, further and further, lighter and lighter. The ascent is slow, gentle and timeless. You're moving through pure silence, pure space. You feel your connection to the specific ground below dissolving, replaced by a feeling of lightness and floating. A beautiful, peaceful suspension. You're moving from the library of memory to the library of being. When the journey is complete, Elara leads you into the final destination, the reading room of repose. It is a small domed chamber. The dome above you is a masterpiece of stained glass, depicting a great, kind-faced moon surrounded by sleeping constellations. The stars have their eyes closed. The moon smiles softly. In the center of the room is a single deep wingback armchair, upholstered in velvet the color of a midnight sky. A blanket of the softest cashmere is draped over its arm. Above the chair, a single floating orb of silver light pulses slowly in time with the quiet rhythm of your breath. This is the quiet heart of the library, Elara says. Her voice is almost a whisper now. This is where readers come to be read, to be still. The collective dreams of all these sleeping memories will weave a lullaby around you. She gestures for you to sit. You sink into the chair, and it feels as though it was shaped over eons for you and you alone. The back supports you perfectly. The sides hold you gently. The blanket is weightless and warm as you draw it over yourself, settling around you like a second layer of deeply relaxed skin. Elara lights a small silver candle and places it on a table beside you. Its flame is tiny and steady, softly reflected in the polished surface of the table. This candle burns on the wick of your remaining wakefulness, she says. When it gutters out, you will have given all your wakefulness to the library, and you will be ready for the deepest of sleeps. She looks at you, and her gaze holds infinite compassion. Your memories are safe, she says gently. They are dreaming beautiful dreams. It is your turn now. Let the silence sing to you. It is the oldest song. She turns and melts into the shadows between the shelves, leaving you alone in the perfect quiet. You look around one last time. The books, the stones in their deep archive, the glass spheres in their distant aviary. Somewhere below, all of them pulse with a slow, synchronized rhythm. The library's own breathing. You close your eyes. The silence is a physical presence now, a soft weight that comforts and holds you. Your own thoughts have become so quiet, so slow, that they are like leaves drifting to the bottom of a still pond. A thought about your body drifts away. A faint awareness of the chair beneath you dissolves. Even the sound of your own breath begins to seem distant, as if it belongs to someone else, far away and already asleep. The only thing that remains is the soft silver light behind your eyelids, pulsing in time with the slowing of your heart. You're no longer a visitor in the library. You're a part of its ecosystem of peace. You're a quiet room in a silent mansion. You're a book on a shelf, resting, safe, dreaming a dream of nothingness. Above you, the silver orb begins to dim, fading with infinite slowness. The flame of the candle on the table flickers, its light growing softer, smaller, a tiny star on the verge of winking out. You feel yourself sinking, merging, dissolving. The boundaries of yourself blur into the calm, dark, peaceful embrace of the library. You are held. You are safe. You are done for today. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to fix, nothing left to remember. The candle flame gives one last gentle, loving pulse and goes out. The silver orb fades to black. There is no more light. There is no more sound. There is no more you as a separate thing. There is only the deep, velvety, absolute darkness of a dreamless sleep. The library holds you in its infinite silent stacks. The memories sleep. And now, at last, so do you.